Hello everyone, my name is Legend Ronnie and this game is Rise of Kingdoms. Now there's gonna be a couple of things that we're gonna talk in this video. One of them is gonna be the Babylonian Garden, which is very disturbing news for many of the players who actually fought and spent for this event. Second is gonna be Mightiest Governor, and third is gonna be AETHELFLAED. I'm gonna do a proper video for AETHELFLAED, but I'm just gonna take a couple of minutes at the end of the video and give you some advices, because I know some of you free-to-play players are probably investing in her, leveling her up, and if you're still playing after 8-9 months, you're probably gonna max her out. So I want to give you some tips and advices about her and where she can actually be used, not just barbarians and you know, AoE farming. Right, so let's get to it. The Babylonian Garden. First thing, before we go any further, I have the email here on the favorites. So these are the 10 winners from my kingdom. So that's 1.4 million T4 troops. Yeah, that's about 1.4 million. Then it's Mika-san, Kubajay, Drago Team, Pit Boss, Mac from VNM, AOC, Badass, Kill Valhalla, Sir Jazz, and Lion from K12. I got the first place. These are my rewards. And then I said Mightiest Governor event. I got the first place on the Mightiest Governor event. Luckily for me, not the same luck in many other continents, and that's the reason I'm going to do the video about the Babylonian Garden. I pushed for the design in the same time when we had the Mightiest Governor event, but my main reason was the design. And now, before we have received the design, the only way we could have inspect the design and see what the design can actually offer us, if we can have it, is over here, which you already see that it grants us infantry attack 10%, archer's defense -5%, and archer health -5%. So in my mind, I was thinking like this. So okay, I can have this design, and in the same time I can use my cavalry. So I can boost my infantry on the battlefield using this design, and I can also use my cavalry, so I can skip the archers on the battlefield. Now the reason I was planning for this is very obvious, because Constantine and Charles, they both have a lot of march speed on their troops. So that way I'm gonna boost my infantry. Like, even if it's 1 march or 2 march, just have some very high boosted infantry, and then I can still use my 4 marches of calves, which most of you know already about the 4 build. So that was my plan. That's why I actually pushed for this particular design, and I'm gonna hit you really hard with this, because that's what we all could see. This is what we were expecting to receive at the end, isn't it? Archer defense, archer health. Now, unfortunately, if you click on the design, it says here that it's reduced the archer health, but the second one is the cavalry defense -5%. I did attack barbarians, and it actually is cavalry defense -5% on the battle log, and is archer health -5%. So this is a very big blow for many of players who are actually spending on this particular event, and there's millions of T5 that were trained on this event. And the main reason most of us trained for this particular event to get this design is because we could have used our calves, not nerfed or not negating stats from them. So you could have skipped using archers, which is only 2 commanders, and there's not much benefit. Everyone just swarm in the archers, so you could have had calves and infantry on the battlefield and skip the archers. And I'm 100% sure that most of the players actually spent for that particular reason. Now let's go forward with this, and let's debate a little bit more. So we have infantry attack. Is it infantry? Yes. It says here special team +10%, very accurate. Archer attack, cavalry attack, siege units attack, infantry defense, archer defense. There's no minus 5% on your archer defense. That's because it doesn't do it. Then we go back to cavalry defense. It says here specialty minus 5% cavalry defense. Well, that is very, very mind-blowing and devastating, because that's not something we paid for. Am I right? You guys are probably highly agreeing with me. So I do hope they're gonna fix this. Otherwise, there's gonna be a huge problem. And then it's obviously infantry health, archer health, specialty minus 5%. So that is a big about this, because what we saw, so what we spent for and what we got is completely two different things. And yeah, that is not really good. So that is the main concern about the Babylonian Garden, which I wanted to show. I'm not very happy nerfing my calves, so hopefully that this is gonna be fixed. Now the second thing, I said the Mightiest Governor event. Now on the Mightiest Governor event, there is always this particular concern where it's coming soon. Yeah, since I'm gonna show it, this is our 5th time we have Saladin. So if this actually rolls down after the cooldown, that's gonna be our 5th Saladin Mightiest Governor. I'm not sure if it's a mistake or if they're actually going to fix it, but one thing is for sure, the gems are changed. On the other one, there used to be the 10 cards or the 50 cards, like 40 of them. So now is a 2000 gem card. Definitely that one is changed. Used to be like that when it was Julius Caesar. Now I'm not sure if it's just the sculpture they're gonna have to change, but if this is gonna roll out, like I said, then we're gonna have our 5th Saladin. Now on the historical writing, you saw I won quite a couple of the Mightiest Governor events, or I was always in high rankings. Now this is a concern for most of the players that are saying that it's a pay-to-win event, that only pay-to-win players can win it. No, it's not true. You see on the season 21, this player Dara, well, I can tell you that he was helped by his alliance to actually get the first rank on the season 21. They have a bunch of accounts which are leveled up just to farm resources and have speed ups for events, and as much as they can afford it, they just heal up the troops and they just give points to one player. Free to play can do that? Hell yeah, you can do that as a free to play. You don't have to pay money for that, and that is the kill event. You also make a lot of kills and you make points for your Mightiest Governor event. This is the main concern of the free to play players, if you want to say like that they cannot win the Mightiest Governor events. Well, you can with the kill event. The kill event can bring you an unlimited amount of points on the 5th and the 6th day of the Mightiest Governor event. So even if you don't have speed ups to train the first day, even if you're not killing enough barbarians the second day, if you're not powering enough on the 4th day, you can fix things up with the 5th and the 6th if you have the necessary tools. What I'm used to do when my other account was active, I'm working right now farm account, and I'm also killing the troops on the Mightiest Governor event. I've done that a couple of times to win the Mightiest Governor event. It's very possible. People are doing everywhere. On the last Mightiest Governor event, I haven't done that. I haven't needed, because there was the Lost Kingdom, so there was a lot of killing to do. So there was no needed. Plus, on the last one, I had to train a bunch of T5s, which I did it for the Babylonian Garden, more than the Mightiest Governor event, because I wanted that design. Legendary design, 10% attack on infantry is pretty dope. But for example, on this one, I had like 117 or 180 million points. We were just the kill event. So without the training or barbarians or whatever other powering events, I could have just win the Mightiest Governor event just with the kill event. So this is the season 22, but it was a lot of killing involved. So yeah, you're noticing AOC was on fire on this particular season, and Dara as well from UN1. Now, to mention another thing on this particular video, because everyone is wondering why do I have so many gems when I'm gonna train troops, or why do I'm saving all the time resources, why do I'm having this and that, why do I have so many cards, why do you have this and that. That's because I save them for events, and I use them in the events that I see that are actually worth it to spend on. And I have players in my alliance which I got beaten in one of the events by one of them. I'm just gonna show it to you, and he's a free-to-play player, but he saved up resources for about 3 months. Well, if you're free-to-play and you don't spend that is it. So this player was around 32 million power. There was a power event and he boosted up over 8 million in power, and he actually beat me. So I'm a spender, and I realized at some point that I'm actually spending too much for that particular event, and he outbid me with about 2 million power. And he doesn't spend, I never see him buying chests or anything like that. This is just what he gets from the alliance, and he managed to win events. And you can win events as free to play or very low spender, but you need to stock up those resources. You need to stock them up for a while if you want to take some of the events. You can't expect to win event after event when you know the pay-to-play players, they're actually spending a lot of money in the game just to compete in the events on every event. You cannot expect to keep the pace with those pay-to-play players when you actually don't get the same amount of resources or speed ups they do. So you can do it. You can do Mightiest Governor event. You can be competitive with the pay-to-play players, but you need to spend time. If you can't spend money, you have to spend time. So these are two things that you can do if you want to win events. And he's not the only player. There are many players in the alliance that are actually doing the same, stocking up resources and just throwing them all when the time is efficient or the time is good, and just try to win some of the events. So the events that is rolling up right now is from ground up, and Sir Jazz, he's a pay-to-play player. Flextron, he's a free-to-play player, so there is a building and training, so he probably saved up a lot of resources. He's rank 3, so with a little bit of more push, if he still has speed ups, he can obviously get the first rank. I'm not sure if Sir Jazz is done or not, or he can train more, but Flextron with a little bit of more push, he can get the first place, so he can win events, he can win sculptures, or you know, whatever the rewards of the events are. So you can win as free to play as well, or low spender. Right, now the third thing, I said that I'm gonna take a couple of minutes at the end of the video, and I'm gonna talk about AETHELFLAED. So I finally summoned her, and the first thing that I cared about her was to max out the main skill. Like any other legendary commander, I'm not leveling them up until I max out the first skill. The next thing that I care about her is gonna be her third skill, and honestly I rather max out the second skill as well. I'm not so hyped about her fourth skill. Counter-attack damage reduction, and obviously the barbarian experience and bonus damage to barbarians. Now when I done the first video, or when I do the first video on new commanders, I always mention, guys, it is the first review. After I debate, after I explore, after I see the commanders on the battlefield, I gather more information. I try to piece pieces together. I actually make a puzzle, so I can come up with good advices about any commander there is in the game. And now is her turn. I'm obviously gonna do a proper video for AETHELFLAED, but until then I can give you some advices if you want to use her on the battlefield. So the first thing, you're probably killing barbarians already, you know that her forward facing fan shape area is 180 degree, so you know that a circle is 360 degree. So if you cut the circle in half, that's 180 degree. So that is her fan shape area, which is pretty large. She is the second best commander for AoE barbarian farming after a maxed out YSG. So after you have an expertise YSG, she is the second best commander that you can use for AoE farming. So that brings her somewhere on the top when it comes to barbarian killing or barbarian AoE farming. If you're short on action points, you can definitely use AETHELFLAED for that particular reason. Now the talent build, I have it on my Discord. The link to the Discord you'll find it in the description of the video. But there is the second thing where AETHELFLAED will actually be very interesting to use. I've seen a lot of people, they like mixture of troops, but this is where the problem comes, because the only way you can obtain her sculptures is from the expedition. So it's gonna take about 8-9 months to max her all skill if you buy the sculptures every day from the expedition, which is a lot, which is quite a lot. By that time, mixture of troops for you, it should be history. Dragotin done a video, a very nice video, explaining about mixture of troops and why they are not so great, or why we are not advising mixture of troops, or he is not advising mixture of troops. Why we always tell you guys specialization commanders, and specialization commanders. You can go ahead and check his video. It was a very nicely explanation about specific type of troops and mixture of troops. But when it comes to AETHELFLAED, I have to say that the amount of bonuses that you can gain using AETHELFLAED and Hannibal Barca for mixture of troops is pretty significant. It needs to be tested. As I said, she needs to be maxed out and she needs to be tested, but if you actually want to use her on the battlefield, I would use her with mixture of troops. So mixture of troops with AETHELFLAED primary and Barca secondary. You can use them as debuffers, and in the same time I'm 100% sure they'll actually hold up their own, because you have counter-attack damage reduction by 20%. If you don't know what counter-attack is, you can check the battle log of any battles and then you'll see their counter-attack. So that's what is gonna reduce basically the amount of troops that you lose per turn, and you'll have less, because you'll have less counter-attack, and that's very important. And then you have bonus damage for mixture of troops, which is 20%. If you ever manage to expertise her, deal 20% extra damage to enemy who have been slowed, and the slow effects are for up to 3 seconds. So that's 3 turns in which you're gonna do 20% extra damage if you expertise her. Now Hannibal Barca is just on top, so we can go ahead and have a look. So if you have 3 types of troops in your army, then you have another 10% extra damage, which is definitely gonna add with the other damage. So at that point, mixture of troops might actually deal some damage. It might be significant, but I'm still advising you to go on specific type of troops. Specialization commanders, they are much more better. If you actually want to use AETHELFLAED and you also have Barca, and this is again the second problem that is gonna come up on this build, because Barca is a VIP commander. You need VIP 14 to max him out, and that is a lot of VIP points, gems, so it's not actually free to play. But this would be the actual build if I would have to actually use AETHELFLAED on the battlefield. Her primary and Hannibal Barca secondary, mixture of troops, and this amount of bonus damages they can get together, it will be quite significant. So, and mixture of troops will definitely gonna do some damage. Now in terms of the talents that I would do for her, if I would have to use her for mixture of troops and debuffing in the same time, would definitely gonna be the peacekeeping talents, because you need march speed. So this is the reason why I would say it actually work, because mixture of troops are usually slow. So if you use AETHELFLAED, because of the peacekeeping, you can actually have some march speed and you can have some mobility on that build. So you're not gonna get to the battlefield when it's over. You're gonna get at the battlefield, you know, in time with the other marches. So you can actually benefit from the debuffs. So you have 18% march speed. Then you have rejuvenate, which is pretty significant. That's a lot of rage restoration from that rejuvenate. And you get hasty departure. So if you actually want to play with this setup and go from mine to mine, you keep benefiting on the hasty departure or structure to structure, and you gain a lot of march speed and a lot of mobility with her. So that's 18, that's 36 talents. And then you need strategic prowess, which you get, which is 20 talents. So 18, 36, that's 56 talents. So far she can get up to 74 talents, so 56 talents. Then you can get armed to the teeth, because you're gonna have 3 types of troops in your army. Where army led by this commander contains 3 or more different units types, all damage dealt is increased by 3%. So I was at 56, that is gonna be 59, 61, 65, 68, 71, 74. So that's gonna be exactly 74 talent points. Now you can modify this a little bit if you want to get armored to the teeth. If you want to your mix of troops to be more tanky, armored to the teeth, you can drop thoroughbreds, but then you drop 9% march speed, or you can drop 9% reduced kill damage, which is loose formation, to get 3% all damage taken reduced. It's all damage. It's basically all damage. So if you can probably since it's all damage, you can probably drop loose formation, and then you can just go for armored to the teeth. So that is how I would actually do the talent build on her at level 60, and put Hannibal Barca second in command with mixture of troops. I think that is like the best combination for AETHELFLAED that she can get with mixture of troops. But again, I still advise specialization commander, any specialization commander over her, and you can keep her for AoE barb farming. That's gonna be all in this video. I said that I'm gonna do a specific video for her, but basically I think I just did a specific video for her. I'm definitely gonna do that talent build that I just showed you, and I've done the math for the talents. I'm definitely gonna draw the picture, and obviously when I'm gonna do her specific video just for her, I'm gonna show it up. So until next time, this is your boy Legend Ronnie signing off. Peace out, yo, and take care.